welcome back. It has been a long time since I last posted, and apologies for that. I haven't really had much content since I came back across the Atlantic in Mojo. I haven't really had much opportunity to post anything as the boat has been in Alcadoza in Spain. And haven't done an awful lot of activities, but I did manage to get a little outing in September, which I took some footage of, and I thought it may be of interest. Not sailing, it's actually cycling. I'd been looking at doing the South Downs Way from Winchester to Eastbourne for a couple of years now. I really wanted to walk it. But back at the end of last year, I was having trouble with my Achilles, and I thought it would be too difficult to try and walk it because it was about 160 kilometres, and yeah, it's a bit difficult with an injury. So, and also the weather was getting a bit unpredictable. So I was looking for a reasonable patch of good weather, which I got at the end of September. So I decided that I would give my gravel bike an outing and I would go and cycling. So I got the train down to Winchester and cycled, I think, about 64 kilometres on the first day, stayed overnight along the route, and then got up early the next day and did 104 kilometres into Eastbourne. Pretty hard going, lots of up and down. Anyway, I've got a few sort of bits of footage that I took along the way. Thought it might be of interest to you all, so here goes. It's the morning of my departure to cycle the South Downs Way. Bit of a long journey to get here, to be honest, because I was originally going to walk it, in fact last year, as a training for the Pyrenees crossing. That never happened, things got in the way, and this year I said I'd do it. I've got problems with my Achilles at the moment, I've got an inflamed Achilles, and also time is short, weather hasn't been great, so I've now got a weather window of about sort of 3 good days. So I had a bit of a brainwave and decided to cycle it. It's 160 kilometres, so I'm setting off in about an hour's time. I'm going to take the train to Winchester, do about 35 miles today, stay in a hotel overnight, and then have a look at what I can do tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll get it all done tomorrow, because it's quite brutal, it's quite up and down. If I can't, I'll try and find somewhere to stay. If I can, I'll come back tomorrow night, so that's the plan. So I thought it'd be useful just to have a quick look at what I'm taking with me, because as always, lightweight is the key. So I'll turn the camera around. This is my great tail fin bag, which fits on the back of the gravel bike. Goes on a little rack at the back, and it's waterproof, pretty hardy as well. So in terms of what I'm taking with me, I've got waterproof. Weather forecast is supposed to be pretty good, but who knows. I've got a very small micro towel. If I stay in the youth hostel, they don't provide towels. I've got a repair kit, just taking this off the back of the bike. I've got a second inner tube there if I need that. I've got the Leatherman with me. I have got some snacks. I'm going to try and buy sandwiches along the way, coffee, teas and coffee breaks. There's a few places to stop, but not very many. So that's my sort of emergency supplies. I've got a lock to lock up the bike if I have to leave it anywhere. And then in terms of electrics, I've got a charging pack, plug all my cables. This is the gear system for the gravel bike, so I need to charge up the gear changes. I've got backlights because the tail fin pack obscures the backlight on the bike. I've got a head torch just in case. 2 pairs of shreddies, 2 pairs of socks, a pair of trousers for at night, and I've got 2 t-shirts and a long sleeve top, and then loo paper, obviously, first aid kit, got some Lemsips, so I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, and got toiletries there, spare pair of glasses in case I lose my other ones, and a couple of packs of tissues. So that is basically it. So I'm going to pack this lot in, and then I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. So that's what it looks like packed up, not bad. And so it fits really neatly on the back of the bike, so hopefully that's going to be all I need. So let's see. Right, I'm ready for the off. This is my trusty steed, Cannondale Topstone Carbon. It's first real outing on a multi-day trip, so I'm looking forward to it. We've got 2 full water bottles because the water's pretty limited on the route. Got the bag, showed you packing earlier, little crossbar thing for sort of snacks and stuff like that. And I've got a holder on the top here for my iPhone so I can check where I'm going. Tyres are pumped up, check the pressures, changed over the pedals yesterday. So yeah, good to go. So I'm just cycling to the station at Twyford. It's only a couple of mile cycle and it's easy to get the train from there. So I've got a train, Twyford to Reading, change at Reading, and then down to Winchester. Got a funny message about disruptions on my phone, so I'm a bit confused about that, and then message saying it was on time, so quite what to expect. I don't know. See when we get to the station. Well, we're on our way. The train looks like it could be on time. This is train to Winchester, Reading station. Hasn't quite left yet. I'm not sure what to do with the bike. So, let's do the corridor here. Well, there's a suggestion that this is the start of the South Downs Way, given the signpost behind me. Very pretty. So here we are. This is the footbridge across the M3. Just left Winchester. A bit of a climb out of Winchester, but all on roads are fairly easy. So this is sort of last of civilization, I think, for a while. So punch on, we've got about 30 odd miles to go until our hotel in Cocking tonight. So plenty of time to do it. It's about 12 o'clock now. So lots of time. It's just the legs need to worry about giving out, and we'll see how we get on. So just come up a biffing hill, bit out of breath, and behind me you can see there's I think it's a shooting range flag, which means you have to go around, but I think we go around anyway. I think it's a big issue. And yeah, we're well above Winchester now, just about to start a little off-road bit. So looking forward to that, getting out into the wilds. So we've done about 8k, and you can already see the views down to Winchester. We've done quite a bit of climbing at Winchester, and yeah, we are now at Cheesefoot Head. So yeah, see how we get on. Got a long way to go today. I think I've scheduled about 55k, so about another 50k to go. So need to get a move on. I thought it might be useful to show you a bit of the terrain we're on. Might be a bit dangerous, but so a lot of what I've been up against so far are these sort of gravel paths, which are quite nice. Some of them have tree trunk roots across them, so yeah, difficult, but this looks fine. So yeah, nice going. 20k in. So here we are, just at the start of Beacon Hill. This is Beacon Hill Nature Reserve. I just checked on Strava and we're 20k in, so we've done about a third of what we need to do today before we stop this evening, and it's currently, I think, about 1:30. So plenty of time, just the legs that we need to check on. So as the name suggests, Beacon Hill is a hill. I think it's a bit of a hike up to the top, so let's get ready for this. So we're now 26k in, and this is the memorial on the top of Old Winchester Hill. which reads that on the night of the 4th of April 1944, during rehearsals prior to D-Day, the subsequent airborne assault operations in Europe, a Sterling 4 with a towed Horsa glider crashed and killed all 33 soldiers and crew on board. So there's a little plaque at the bottom with all the poor souls who perished. Yeah, 4th of April, so that was about 2 months before D-Day, so they're obviously getting ready for it all. And this is the view from Winchester Hill, which is pretty beautiful. So yeah, really peaceful, lovely spot. So yeah, we're about halfway to where we're going to stop tonight, so we'll crack on. Thought I had to take a picture of this. It's about 30k, which to celebrate the life of Brian. I thought it was a fantastic film too. Obviously thought it was worth making a bench out of and marking their respect. So yeah, it's quite hard going, just been up a really steep bit out of breath. So yeah, probably, well, I've done at least half of what I need to do today, so and I think it's about 3 o'clock, so I've got plenty of time. Just see if the legs keep going. So I thought this was worth a quick video, because the route basically goes around to the end here and then comes down into the bottom of this valley and crosses over this lake at the bottom here, over there, goes down over there and then over that hill there. So there's certainly going to be some pain at the other side of this valley, but for the moment I've got the nice bit which is going down, so let's crack on. I thought it was worth just giving you a quick look at the sort of paths that we're now cycling down. Oh, there's this route. So absolutely beautiful sort of off-road riding, really. I mean, a few tree routes, but it is really nice riding. Yeah, that's quite special. Just come up to the top of this hill and you get a nice view of the sea out there. That's Hayling Island, and over there is the Isle of Wight, and you can see there are some ships anchored just off the Isle of Wight there. It's quite a nice view. Right, so all that traffic you can hear and see up there is the A3. We've just come across the A3. We're about 40 kilometres in. This is Queen Elizabeth Country Park, and it's actually saying that my path goes up here through the woods. I'm a bit dubious about that, but I'll have a look at the map. Yeah, I thought this was a fantastic view from the top of Harting Down. Yeah, great spot. And over there, I've got a feeling in that wood there is a parapont. So somebody has obviously been paraponting from here and managed to land in that wood, which must have been bloody painful. And heaven knows what happened to him, but whatever's happened, he hasn't recovered his parapont. So, yeah. So I think the route basically takes me up the top there, over the top, which is a bit of a grunt, but got a nice run down to the bottom now. So, and I'm not far from where I'm going to stop for the night. Yeah, I've done 52 miles, and yeah, it's about 5 o'clock, so I've been going for about 5 hours, but I did have a puncture which took me about half an hour to sort out, so yeah, probably cycling for about 4.5 hours. The kilometres on this off-road stuff take a lot longer than they do on-road, so yeah. Anyway, it's great fun, I'm enjoying it, so hopefully about another hour and I should be at Cocking and I can look for my pub that I'm staying in overnight. Well, you've got to take a picture of that. It's 5:30, sun is just starting to set, and it is an absolutely stunning evening. So lucky with the weather. It is absolutely beautiful, and all around you've just got open countryside. Absolutely beautiful, really nice. And I think, according to my calculations, I've probably got about 5k left to do. So with a good following wind, I should be in by about just after 6, I think. Fingers crossed. Well, you can probably see behind me sunrise. So I spent the last night in Cocking, the Bluebell. It's a nice pub. When I finished last night, I had this fantastic ride down into the village, which was a real relief. But this morning, guess what? I had to come back up it. I spent about 10 minutes getting back out of Cocking. So now back on the South Downs way. It's just after 6. So I should see a nice sunrise. So I'm going to crack on. So the plan A is to punch on through to Eastbourne. If I do that, I should get there about sort of 4 or 5 o'clock. Plan B, if I'm too knackered, is to stop at South East, which will leave me about another 20k to do on Thursday. So let's see how we get on. Ideal's plan A. If not, we're down to plan B. See how the legs hang up. So it's about 8 o'clock. Just come down Bignor Hill, which is there. You can see the path that comes down. Wine comes. It's focusing on my finger, so yeah, but you can see the path that comes down there, down to the bottom, and I'm now coming up this path here, and we are just about halfway. In fact, there's somebody coming down there on a bike, so they'll probably catch me and overtake me, because I'm taking it easy because I've got so far to go. So we'll see. So here we are. It is 9 o'clock, and already I've got my puncher. So I had one yesterday, that took me about half an hour to repair, and I got another one in the back now, which I'm going to have to repair, and I've only got 2 inner tubes, so I'm a little bit worried what happens if I get another one, to be honest, because I've got a puncher repair kit, but I tried to repair the one yesterday and it completely failed. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So anyway, I've struggled on for the last sort of 5k, and I've got to change this tyre because it's not gonna get any better. So off it comes. Hoping for a nice picture of the sea right out in front of us there, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big wind farm over there in the distance. I don't know what that is. Big wind farm. And I'm thinking over there, where those buildings are over there, I think that must be Brighton, but I'm only guessing. So just crossing the River Adur. It's about 11 o'clock. And you can clearly see this river is tidal there. It's quite interesting. And we're just going over there, across, and I suspect we're going on that hill over there. There seems to be a lot up and down on this route. So going down is lovely, going up not so great. So I've scheduled a lunch stop at about 12 o'clock. I'm hoping we'll get there. I think we're sort of more or less on target. Should do about another hour and be there. So I've done 125 kilometres, so by my reckoning about 35 kilometres left to go. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in the distance that is Beachy Head, which I think is where Eastbourne is, so I think I can almost sort of smell the finishing, although over this terrain 35 kilometres is still a long way to go. So let's get cracking. So this is the YHA South East, which I've left behind. So decision made, I am going to punch on. I've got about I think I've got about 20k left to do. So there's about 10k to Alfriston, and then about 10k from Alfriston into Eastbourne. So another 20k. At the moment, I'm just going up this hill here, which is a bit of a pain, and I'm hoping that when I get to the top there, there'll be a bit of a downy bit, but we'll see. So I'm definitely getting close, because I think that is Newhaven, as there is a boat coming in, so I'm pretty sure that is Newhaven. Not 100% sure, but that's my guess. So yeah, we're getting close. It is 7:05 in the evening, and I'm about 3 miles out of Eastbourne, and in front of us, I think that is the last hill that we have to negotiate, the one in front of me, and it goes around to the right. And I think once I get to the end of there, I think it's downhill to Eastbourne. I'm praying it is anyway, because I'm pretty done in. So let's see. So what happened at the end? Well, yeah, that's the last bit of footage that I actually managed to take. My big mistake in hindsight is a wonderful thing, is that I should really have stopped at the youth hostel at Summerlees. I got there about 4 o'clock. I had an ice cream, a cup of tea, and I made the decision that I would push on, which was a mistake, as it turned out that it took me a lot longer to get to Eastbourne than I had anticipated. By the time I actually got to the golf course in Eastbourne, it was pitch dark. It was about it was about 7:30 or even 8 o'clock, I think, when I got to the golf club at Eastbourne. It's fairly easy to cycle down into the train station there, but the train's caused me another issue, because the only way to get the bike back to Reading, it suggests that you go via London. Well, with a bike you can't go on the underground, so I had to go up to Clapham Junction, and there was an hour wait between trains that then go out to the slow train that goes out of Waterloo to Reading, which I then connected with, which meant that I didn't actually get into Reading till about midnight. By the time the train had come out of Reading, and I got off at Twyford and cycled home, it was about 1 o'clock, and I was absolutely pooped. Hence the reason why I should have stopped at the youth hostel. I hadn't realised how difficult it was getting home, to be honest. Anyway, live and learn, and I may well do the route again, and if I do, I won't make the same mistake again. But I hope you enjoyed the content. Yeah, and the next one is going to be sailing. So there you go.